Okay, I just need to make sure that's not in the way. Hey, everybody, we are live with Keys to College. Now, let me do something first. Let me go live with Facebook. Okay. We in here. We're live.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
On all the social medias.
I know, right? So we have all these devices set up. We have our phone. We have our Chromebook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it on my page.
Sorry.
No worries. I'm going to share the live on my page. I'm going to try to do that. So how y'all doing out there? We just got finished putting our son to bed.
That is true.
So I am going to try to get this situated so that we can start. Looks like I'm live. We're live. We're waiting for people to come on. So, hey, y'all out there. Let's see. Okay, it's a live video. So let me see. I'm going to share.
Oh, there's me.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'm going to share. Okay, I'm sharing this. I want to share this as myself, my personal. Eastern Gilbert High School. That's Chanel. Okay.
Technology.
I know, right? Okay, so I think it's sharing now to my timeline. Okay,
cool.
Great. Okay, so let's get started. There are a few people on now, so welcome. My name is Neils Ribeiro-Yemofio, and we have our incredible first guest to our college connection. We have the dynamic, hilarious, and incredibly smart, as I said in the description, Neils Ribeiro-Yemofio here. So,
the whole government. Clearly, you know me.
Welcome. Well, let me close. Okay, cool. So y'all can feel free to say hi or comment as we're talking, but we're not going to hold you too long. I just want to introduce what Keys to College is all about and why it was founded. Keys to College was founded to unlock the mysteries to the college application process. Too many times, especially in underrepresented communities, we are uninformed about decisions surrounding the college application process. My philosophy is the college application process starts in elementary school. That's the more informal way that it starts. I think it's just more so exposure to colleges, going to a homecoming, going to a game, not necessarily asking someone, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what do you want to major in? You can ask those questions too, but as we know, those answers can always change. So with Keys to College, we have a part of our project that is called College Connection. And we will be featuring people on our show that will be talking about their college application process. I want to know, how was your process? Did you get through this? How did you get through college? And I want people to be able to share their stories. A little bit more about me. I've been a school counselor for 7 years and I love it. I started out the process with the College Advising Corps through UNC. And after that, oh yeah, there you go. Represent. After that, I worked at Hillside and Southern High Schools in Durham for 2 years and absolutely fell in love with the students and just the environment. And so I then wanted to know, how could I continue this process? How could I continue helping students access college? And I decided to be a school counselor. I went to George Washington University in DC. And although Neils and I met in college, we linked up and became more than friends once I went to graduate school in DC. Long story short, now we're married and we have a 2-year-old son.
Yep.
And he's my first guest. So I'm happy about that.
No. I'm so excited.
Keys to College. Yes. Woo, woo, woo. So with that, being said, I've now been an educator for 10 years, and I decided and I felt confident that I could take this to an entrepreneurial pursuit. So all of the entrepreneurs, let's link up, let's figure out something. Without further ado, I would like Neils to tell us a little bit about his college application process. But first, I would start out with saying, what high school you went to and all that stuff. You can tell
the
people
demographics, all
yeah,
that
the
stuff.
demographics. You can tell people where you're from, whatever you want to let the people know.
Okay, now just reel me in if you want me to, so I can jump in. Hello, internet. How's it going? Nice to talk to you all. Again, my name is Neils Ribeiro-Yemofio. So a little bit about me. I eventually ended up at UNC Chapel Hill. Some folks don't know this, but I've wanted to go to UNC since I was 4 years old. At least that's what I remember. And part of why I wanted to go to UNC was, of course, basketball, Michael Jordan, the colors. Yeah. All those things were like the surface level reasons for why I wanted to go to UNC. I then got older, wanted to go to other schools. There was like this, I don't think I told you this, but the school that I really wanted to go to for like 4th grade all the way to like 6th grade was Howard. I was like dead set on going to Howard University. And then as I started getting older and wiser, and the big thing was my dad moved to North Carolina, I was like, no, I'm going to UNC. So the majority of my life, I was like dead set on going to UNC. High school. So I moved around 8 to 9 times growing up between like K through 8. So we moved around a lot. So I wasn't ever really expecting to be at a school for a long period of time until we got to Robinson, which is a secondary school in Fairfax, Virginia, which is in Fairfax County. Northern Virginia. Important thing to note about Robinson, at the time, it was the largest secondary school in Northern Virginia. And it also was a very, very wealthy school. Like, folks had money. Now, there was pockets of folks who did not have money. I represented one of those folks, but the majority of the school was middle to upper middle income. And that kind of previews like part of my college access journey, being in a school where wealth is very like present, and being a member of besides the fact that I'm, a Black man trying to pursue higher education, and them not having like, necessarily the resources tailored to specifically support me at the school level for what I was looking for, kind of shaped a little bit about what I want to do and where I want to go and how to get there. So yeah.
Okay.
Is that a good intro?
Yeah, it was. You did good. So fast forward all the way to maybe junior or senior year.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you took the SAT? And then tell us about your application process.
Yeah. I think it's probably important for me to describe my sophomore counselor.
Okay.
I think I told you this.
Okay.
Yes. So I was always a great high school student. Obviously, I went to UNC, but
you made it.
Yeah, I made it. Validation. So sophomore year, it was towards the end of sophomore year, and we were talking about, the counselor at the time and I were talking about what classes I should take. And he was like, so what do you want to do? And I was like, well, the big thing is I want to go to UNC. I know it's really hard to get into UNC as an out-of-state student, but I'm dead set on going to UNC. And I was a really good student. Even by like towards the end of my sophomore year, I was a really good student. But my counselor looked at my grades. He looked at everything. He was like, yeah, I really don't know if UNC is like an option for you. I really think you should look into like either going to an HBCU or going like trying to get a football scholarship. Like, I know you play football. Like, I think those are the things you should go for. And I didn't know no better. I mean, I didn't like the fact that he told me I couldn't go to the school I didn't want to go to, but like, I didn't know no better. So I was like, cool, I guess I should get better at football.
Yeah.
Or just focus on like going to Howard. I want to go to Howard anyway.
He made counselor look bad.
Yeah, he that's like one of the things you told me. That's a big no-no, telling the kid that they can't get into a school.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that goes into a little bit of, my college access, I guess, experience. So I took the SATs for the first time sometime in junior year. I think towards the end of junior year. We took the PSATs obviously before that.
Yeah.
And I got a pretty decent score. And then I did, no, it was my senior year. I don't know. Anyways, the second time I took it was the fall. I took a prep class that was out of a church, a local church in Fairfax. Shout out to all my Black Robinson alums. We all took that same prep class.
Who told you about the prep class?
Some of the folks, someone who went to school with.
Okay,
like it was pretty much all the because they all went to
Okay.
the same church. All the Black Robinson went
Got
to the
you.
same church,
Mm-hmm.
and so that prep class was going on. David's in that prep class. Shout out to David.
Okay.
So we all took that same prep class, and then we took the SATs afterwards, and I was pretty happy with my score. And then I remember having a conversation. This was like with a new counselor junior year, and we were talking about classes again, and he said, where do you want to go to school? So it's, you obviously are a great student. You have a lot of options. What school do you want to go to? And I was like, well, I did want to go to UNC, but now I'm not sure. And he was like, hold up. You want to go to UNC?
Mm-hmm.
University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill? I was like, yes, that was my dream school. And he was like, you will get into UNC.
Shout that counselor out.
Mr. Markowski.
Mr. Markowski. Thank you,
Mr. Markowski. I'll never forget you.
Yeah.
He looked me dead in the eyes and said, you are getting into UNC.
Yep.
He's like, stick with me. I will get you into UNC. I mean, like, he didn't sell me the world. He said, you're going to have to work your butt off.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to kill all of your advanced classes. You're going to have to pick up a couple of things, but keep it up and you will get into UNC.
Right.
That changed my mind. That meeting changed my life.
It changed your life. Those words that he believed in you changed your life.
Yeah, it really did. It made me believe that not only am I good enough to get into UNC, I can get into UNC.
Right.
So that was the SAT prep class. I mean, I was already doing good in school. I was already taking leadership positions, but it finally dawned on me that college is an option and my dream school is an option.
Right. You had that seed planted, and that's all that it took is for you to water that seed. And so you did what was necessary to water your seed, including, taking those AP and IB classes.
Yep.
Doing what you needed to do for standardized testing, getting people to look over your essays. Do you remember who looked over your essays?
Half the school.
Tell me about that.
I had about three teachers. If you were cool, this is part of the funny thing. If you were a teacher at Robinson and I liked you, you looked over my resume. So I had about five different teachers, my essays. Yeah. I had about 5 teachers look at my essays, even look as simple as looking at the application. Right. So yeah, they're about 10% of Robinson's staff looked at my stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that even is true now is that you are humble enough to say, look, what do you think about this? Not look, I got this. I don't need no help. You, even to this day, are still humble and ask, what do you think about this? What kind of feedback do you have? You're the type of person who still loves feedback.
Oh, yeah.
Professional and personal life. And you actually act on that feedback. And you don't get offended.
I'm not good enough.
So.
I realize that I absolutely need support and feedback in order to be successful in life. So,
yeah.
And why would I waste your genius? I got a genius living in my household. I'm going
that's why you on the show. Leverage. That's why you on the show. Iron sharpens iron, right, y'all?
Thanks, boo. Anyway.
So let's pause for a second and let's see who's on. Sorry if I'm getting too close to the screen. I see Keisha Streeter. Sorry, I'm not gonna call out your government. I'm gonna say Keisha, AJ, Maurice, and Fametta. Half of y'all that I see are from my Jersey folks, so hello. And then other half, my North Carolina folks. So that's awesome. Thank y'all for joining us. So yes, what about the FAFSA? Tell us about the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. And any scholarship processes. How did that go for you?
Oh, this is going to be a very quick conversation. So, the FAFSA was a journey. You and I have talked about this many a times. And this feeds into so I work in education and I'm huge, especially when I meet parents for the first time talking about FAFSA. I mean, as early as 6th grade, I'm talking about FAFSA.
Yeah.
And part of the reason is because I had such a difficult time getting the FAFSA filled out. So, first of all, I didn't even realize I needed to fill it out. Somebody, I forgot who it was, somebody told me like, hey, have you filled this out yet? And I didn't even know what it was. Nobody mentioned it to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that stuff. They're like, yeah, you need to fill that out. Like UNC won't let you in unless you fill it out. Yeah. Someone had to tell me that like I wasn't gonna get into school unless I filled it out.
Yeah.
So I found out the website online.
I'm listening.
And then I started to fill it out. I was like, okay, cool. I know this, I know that, I know Social Security. Like I'm killing this part.
Mm-hmm.
And then it asked for tax information from my mom. If you don't know, I am West African. And I'm the first one in my family born in America. Everybody else is from Ghana. And we don't play when it comes to personal data.
Mm-hmm.
They like before the internet data scare was a thing, my mom already was living that life.
Mm-hmm.
She don't give her info out to nobody. For nothing. And so when it was time, I was like, oh, well, okay, Mom, I need your tax information.
Mm-hmm.
For what? Oh, for college. What is this? Oh, well, it's the free application. I don't know. Ooh, FAFSA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, it's free. Like, you know, like it's gonna help me like get into college. And she was like, no. And that was it. And it took me, I kid you not, 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks, to convince her that she can give me the information.
Right.
And when she finally did it, she had me step away from the computer.
Uh-huh.
She filled it out,
submitted
it, and then she was like, okay, you come back in.
Right. All that's confidential.
All that's confidential. Yeah. I couldn't look at my own mama's tax stuff, let alone like she wanted to insert it into this like random website.
Yeah.
It took 3 weeks. And it was filled out wrong.
Oh, okay.
So when we talk about like financial aid and all that stuff, I didn't get any money from UNC. No money. And I absolutely could have qualified to get money.
You didn't get any financial aid from UNC?
A single dime from UNC.
Oh God, you definitely could have.
And oh yes, I could have.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was filled out wrong. I mean, I don't know how to say it was filled out wrong.
Oh.
And I also.
And you were an out-of-state student too, so yeah,
out-of-state student,
much more expensive.
I was an out-of-state student, and I also didn't fill out any scholarships. I didn't try to get any scholarships, all because I was like, man, senior year is really hard. I'm just trying to like knock out these classes and go to school.
As long as you got in,
every scholarship required an essay, and I was like, man, I don't want to do no essays.
Yeah,
I got the UNC, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, I got accepted to UNC as an out-of-state student. Didn't fill out the FAFSA properly. The FAFSA thought I was balling.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
And didn't do any scholarships.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a perfect storm,
right?
For what not to do. So, what advice would you give an upcoming, senior now in a similar situation as you? Their parent doesn't really want to fill out the FAFSA. They might not understand what's going on. They don't, they're not interested in any scholarships. What kind of advice would you give?
I have like so many things to say at this point. Number one is like everyone should know. Everyone should know what the FAFSA is. Mm-hmm. I think it should be embedded in like understanding that like in a college application you need to get letters of recommendation. You also need to know what the FAFSA is.
Exactly.
It needs to be common. It needs to be a common language thing. Everyone should know it. Everyone should understand it. It should come with just being an American citizen. You should just be aware of what the FAFSA is.
Right.
I would discuss it early and often, as early as 6th grade, like what I do with my students now. Mm-hmm. So if you are a senior, I mean, like you talking about the FAFSA, you are sharing what it is. You're sharing what it means. Pretty much say, look, mom, dad, whoever, we fill this out. This is going to get me money to go to college.
Right.
Like that's how it needs to be explained. I clearly didn't explain this.
Right.
Like
right.
That.
You didn't have the words to explain it in that way.
But that's what you need to say. Like, we fill this out. I got a good chance of getting money to go to college. Exactly. So that's number one. And number two, if I could go back in time, I would have slapped myself for not doing any scholarships. Like it was strictly in retrospect, I realized I was just being lazy. I was just trying to coast for the rest of the senior year. That was my only excuse.
Yeah.
And I could have gotten so much money.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because like I'm like a super articulate writer, but like I had a story.
Mm-hmm.
I had a story that I could eloquently explain. Like I already filled out a college application.
Mm-hmm.
All I got to do is take that letter, mix it up a little bit, and those are like 5 essays that I could have sent off to scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't piece that together.
Right.
I just saw the work and didn't realize how crucial those benefits would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely would have tell any senior, especially myself back in the day, if a scholarship looks like an opportunity, like if you qualify for it, apply to it. Mm-hmm. What else do you have to do? Right. I didn't have a job at the time. That was what my job should have been, applying to all those scholarships.
Right. You don't have anything to lose. And I mean, except for, somebody might say, well, time. But for example, if a scholarship is worth a full ride, let's just say $100,000, which I know that's an anomaly, that's rare. But let's say it takes you 10 hours. Like I completed and earned the Gates Millennium Scholarship, full ride to college. It probably was worth about $100,000, especially because I went to school out of state. And it's like, okay, if it takes you 10 hours to complete the application, that means that you earn $10,000 an hour. There's not too many people who earn that amount of money.
Oh no, you balling.
Yeah. So I mean, it's definitely worth it to shoot your shot, basically, and see what's out there. But I know you didn't have that information then, but you did very well for the information that you had.
Yeah. One of the things I did, and I don't know how helpful this will be for folks, but as soon as I got to UNC and talked with the financial aid folks, they realized that I qualified for in-state tuition. So I only had to do 1 semester of being an out-of-state student. And then the rest of the time at UNC, I was considered an in-state student. I saved thousands of dollars. Yeah. Thousands upon thousands of dollars just by making sure I had a conversation with the financial aid department.
Having conversation made the difference.
Yeah. So that was a big thing.
Okay. Awesome. Sounds good, y'all. So this is our first episode. We don't want to hold you long. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Is there anything else you would like to tell the people out there?
Yeah. This is one thing I will say in regards to picking the college that you want to go to. My advice for you is to don't think about who you are and like what you want to do right here, right now. Think about who you want to be. Mm-hmm. And then look around the school. And if you see people talking, looking, acting the way that you want to talk, look, and act, then you are probably finding your next home. That could be the college for you. Don't think about oh, this is who I am now. This is the kind of fun I want to have now. That's backwards thinking. You need to think proactively okay, this is the type of person I want to be. Look at where the alums go when they're done with school. Think about what they're achieving. When you see people's names associated with this school, what are they doing? Who are they? Think about okay, that's the kind of person I want to be. Mm-hmm. That can help shape your college decision. You can be great at any college. You can. Some better than others. Mm-hmm. But I think for those of you who have a plethora of options and are really trying to are legit having a hard time picking what college you want to go to, just think about the person you want to be and see if that college fits culturally the type of person you want to be.
Yeah, I like that. That's about fit too. It's about finding your right fit. And I would be remiss if I did not say on the very first episode that I benefited from a college access program when I was in high school called the Princeton University Preparatory Program. So shout out to PUP. I love PUP very dearly. I'm an alum and I've gone back 2 summers to teach. And so they really helped to guide me in applying for selective colleges. And I think just gave me that confidence that I could do it. And so I want to give you all that confidence that you can do it. You can do what you put your mind to. Just work hard and have the faith, and just know that many colleges are the same. Mm-hmm. I hate to say that. That's a big secret. A lot of colleges are the same. It's what you make out of your experience. Mm-hmm. It's your mindset and it's your approach when you get there. All right, y'all. So hi, Chalise. We're about to log off. So sorry if we didn't see other people who were on first episode. We got like all these devices going, but stay tuned for next month. If you would like to be featured, please send me a DM or text me, and I would love to have you on. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, honey.